Joe Packer and Pat Sincer. If you would come up, the microphone is over there. And you can just line up behind. On deck is Reverend Billy Tower.
My name is Zigun, and during my 30-year involvement at Coney Island, I have worn many hats. Red hat. As an artist, I wish to publicly thank Dominic Recchia, Councilman, EDC, CIDC, and especially Department of Cultural Affairs for years of support for the arts in Coney Island, and especially for helping us secure competitive funding for a permanent home for Coney Island, USA. Make no mistake about it, our funding is and was 100% based on merit and 30 years of service, and yet in thanks, I take my red hat off to you folks who are both good government public servants as well as my friends. Councilman Recchia especially has worked hard for the arts in all 5 boroughs. Has funded parks and good projects in his district and worked side by side with me to landmark Child's Restaurant on the boardwalk. Although I strongly disagree with the councilman on the rezoning issue, I consider him a good man, and to see him attacking the neighbors the other day and myself attacking the Post last week is nothing but the politics of personal destruction, and I wish no more of that. We are all good people here. Graham, with regret tonight, I am resigning my position as a director of the CIDC with this speech. I am honored the Mayor Bloomberg appointed me, and even tonight thank the Mayor for purchasing the P&B Carousel, funding Coney Island USA's building purchase, and for countless other good deeds he has done for us at the beach. For the record, I was appointed to the CIDC for my role in the community. I remind you again based on merit and service. In my first briefing as a director, I asked Lynn Kelly if there was any quid pro quo, if I had to shut up. And to her merit and her integrity, she told me no, that the city appreciated my genuine support for the strategic plan and hoped only that I would use my communication skills to promote and defend the plan. Please. For 3 years, I was the mayor's #1 cheerleader for the plan, even though I had no hand in writing it. And for 3 years, I worked hard with the other directors, all good people who cared deeply. Public hearings, stakeholder meetings, endless negotiations, and a total of 4 years of work. A consensus plan was put forward with balance and merit and something for everyone. Fellow directors of the CIDC, my hat off to you. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to, I cannot put the gray hat representing the CIDC back on my head. 2 months ago, the process broke down. I didn't change my mind about the plan. The city governed our plan. I didn't leave the CIDC left me. I am not against development or condos or retail. I only ask for development done in the right way with consensus. Nothing more, but nothing less than the city's own plan just a few months ago. I am resigning from the CIDC because the people I have spoken up for my entire adult life need my voice now more than ever. Astroland, Dino's Wonderville Park cannot speak because they are negotiating leases with Joe Sid. Still Avenue boardwalk businesses, the past president of the Coney Island Chamber cannot speak because they had to sign confidentiality clauses with Joe Sid. And lately people have been suggesting I should not speak up because the city was good to me. Yes, indeed, the city has been good to me. But there is a disrespect for the amusement industry which has not been at the negotiation table, and that is not right. And if I am their spokesman, I have no choice but to speak out, even though it has caused nothing but trouble for me. Since I am no longer a director of the CIDC, and now wear this hat of the amusement industry spokesman in New York City, let's review what's wrong with the process. The current zoning laws of engine wrappers up a little bit. Please, I am up until today a director of the CIDC. Let me go on a few more minutes, please. I am speaking to reconciliation. The current zoning laws of New York City define no Coney northeast or west. Rather, according to current law, there are some 61 acres zoned C7 amusements. Before there was a CIDC, a stellar development which did good work in residential Coney Island funded a private study that recommended rezoning C7 to housing. At their public hearing, the entire membership of the Coney Island Chamber attended en masse, denounced the plan, yet Estella said they ran out of funding to acknowledge our objection to the final draft. And that flawed plan planted the seeds of this flawed process. The CIDC itself was created by Councilman Recchia, who appointed 6 directors, 6 appointed by the mayor, and 1 by Borough President Markowitz. Not one amusement industry representative was on the CIDC when the plan was written, yet the good people of the CIDC wrote a fair plan. When Asperland and Dinos tried to put forward year-round ideas of their own, you didn't want to work with them.
We've got
The street plan was written by elected officials, chosen people, yet some of the same unelected officials dismissed their own plan as unrealistic. I dismissed the new plan as disrespectful. In my 3 years of service, I had no input except as cheerleader. Let me try and jump ahead and accommodate here. None of my ideas, which I'm not listing, were adopted, and yet I stayed on and fought for the plan until even that barely acceptable plan was recently gutted. The original plan takes the empty lots north of Surf, west of Keyspan for housing, but wisely placed entertainment retail on the ground level, a rise exchange of your rights, but now the ground floor is ordinary dry cleaners, hardware stores available 1 block away on Mermaid. That is not only a land grab, it is apartheid retail.
About 10 more
The
seconds.
original plan develops the core amusement area south of Surf as a 21st century amusement park. Now there is a 30-story hotel in front of a landmark, which builds a nice innovative shopping mall for South Brooklyn, leaving a small playground of amusement for drawers. To call this new plan the world's playground is George Orwell doublespeak.
Okay, I think we have to sit down.
I ask you, I urge you, I beg you to cancel this plan, fix the process, come back to us here in 2 months with yet a 3rd draft EIS hearing. You will tell me that's unlikely or impossible. The precedent for just that was set only 2 months ago. I urge the audience here to be respectful and allow this meeting to happen. Of course you can boo or applaud this in Brooklyn, but if you disrupt the hearing, there will only be scheduling, and you have to be here again. You are here, you will be heard. This is a democracy, and the public reaction is part of the process. God bless America. And speaking of the Creator, I have so personally been confused and conflicted by this lack of consensus that I turn to my spiritual advisor, the good Reverend Billy. He's the head of a national prominent arts organization right here in Coney Island. I asked him to come testify because he is the foremost professional artist in the US of A addressing the real estate issues. Finally, I am willing and able to work with everyone here to bring back consensus and promote a good plan. There was consensus only a few months ago, but it was thrown out for greed. Politicians should keep their own promises, so let's take a second look at the lies of